You know how it is, right? You're grinding away on Instagram. Maybe your follower number's even going up, but crickets.
Yeah,
Your posts just feel like they vanish. Barely any likes, maybe one comment if you're lucky. It's pretty frustrating.
totally.
Now, if you're looking for a quick kickstart, you want to check out resources like rapidboost.net. They offer ways to boost social profiles.
Mm-hmm.
But today, we're really diving deep into something more fundamental. Why engagement, those likes, comments, shares, saves, actually matters more,
Mm,
and what you can realistically do about it.
exactly. Let's park the follower count obsession for a moment.
Yeah, let's do that. Because it's so tempting, isn't it, to just watch that number?
It is. It feels like the big score. But honestly, on today's Instagram, real engagement, that's where the actual power lies.
Okay.
It's the signposts telling the algorithm, telling potential partners, even telling your own audience, hey, this stuff connects.
Like a quality signal.
Yeah, precisely. Think about it. Would you rather have a huge stadium filled with people kind of checking their phones or a smaller club packed with diehard fans singing along?
Okay, good analogy. So
Yeah.
let's unpack that. Why the big shift? Why is Instagram, and why should we, care more about the buzz than just the crowd size?
Fundamentally, it's because the platform got smarter. Instagram's algorithm, well, it's designed to keep people on Instagram.
Right. Keep them scrolling.
Exactly. And what keeps people scrolling and interacting? Good content, content that sparks something. So high engagement, likes, comments, shares, saves, tells the algorithm this is valuable stuff.
And then the algorithm pushes it out more.
You got it. It's more likely to show up on the Explore page or in the feeds of people who don't even follow you yet. So those interactions, they're like fuel for your organic reach.
Okay, so it's like the platform itself is eavesdropping and saying, oh, people are talking about this, let's show it around.
That's a great way to put it.
What are some, warning signs? How do you know if you really need to shift your focus from just getting followers to getting them engaged?
Well, the classic one we mentioned, follower count goes up, but likes and comments stay flat, or worse, drop. That's a big one.
Means the new people aren't clicking with the content.
Right. Or you see really high story views, but nobody's tapping the polls, nobody's replying, nobody's clicking links. Lots of eyes, no action.
Okay.
And definitely if you're doing sponsored posts or want to, and the results are just eh. Despite having a decent number of followers, that screams low engagement. Your audience isn't actually moved by what you post.
These are all signs the connection isn't really there.
Exactly. The content isn't hitting home.
All right, convinced. Engagement is king or queen or the whole royal court.
Yeah.
But how do we measure it? Actually put a number on it. Do we need special software?
You need a calculator, maybe, but the formulas are pretty straightforward. There are a few main ways.
Yep.
First is engagement rate by followers. This tells you what percentage of your existing audience is interacting. You just take the total likes, comments, shares, and saves on a specific post.
Add them all up.
Yep. Divide that sum by your total follower count.
Right.
Then multiply by 100 to get the percentage. Simple as that.
So that shows how much your own crowd is digging that post.
Exactly. Then there's engagement rate by impressions or reach.
Impressions or reach? Oh, right. Impressions is total views. Reach is unique viewers.
You got it. So same numerator, likes, comments, shares, saves. But you divide by either total impressions or total reach. Multiply by 100.
And why use this one?
This is super useful for seeing how well content performs relative to how many people saw it, not just your followers. Think about a reel that goes a bit viral.
Ah, okay. Might reach loads of non-followers.
Precisely. So its engagement rate by reach might be strong, even if the rate by followers isn't stellar, because it's captivating a wider new audience.
Makes sense. One measures core loyalty, the other measures broader appeal, and the third way.
Third is just tracking your average engagement per post. This is less about a single post and more about your baseline.
How does that work?
You just look at, say, your last 10 or 15 posts, calculate the total engagement for each, then find the average engagement number across those posts.
To smooth out the bumps. Like if one post weirdly tanks or one goes nuts.
Exactly right. It gives you a more stable picture of your typical performance.
Okay, calculating this. Seems like it could take a while, especially if you post a lot. Are there tools, shortcuts?
Oh, absolutely. You don't have to do it all by hand.
Yeah.
If you have an Instagram business or creator account, Instagram Insights is built right in.
Right, I've seen that.
It gives you loads of data on posts, stories, your audience. Engagement metrics are definitely in there. You can track performance over different time periods.
What about beyond Instagram's own tools?
Yeah, there are tons of third-party platforms, Sprout Social, Hootsuite, many others, and dedicated Instagram analytics tools, too. They often automate the calculations and can give you deeper insights, like engagement broken down by content type reels versus carousels, for instance.
That breakdown seems important.
It is, because different formats often get very different engagement levels. You need to compare apples to apples, and always check the time frame you're analyzing.
Good point. So we know how to calculate it, but what is a good number? What should we be aiming for in, say, 2024? Is there a magic percentage?
Ah, the million-dollar question. And the answer is, it depends.
Of course it does.
But we do have benchmarks. A big study by Rival IQ in 2023 found the average engagement rate across all industries on Instagram was around 0.67%.
0.67%. That sounds kind of low.
It does, doesn't it? But that's a huge average. It gets much more interesting when you break it down by follower size.
Okay, like how?
Well, nano-influencers think accounts under 10K followers, they often have way higher rates, sometimes 1%, 2%, even up to 3.5% isn't uncommon.
Wow.
But as accounts get bigger, that rate tends to drop. Large accounts, mega influencers, they're often below 1%.
Why is that? Just harder to connect with a massive audience.
That's a big part of it. It's like comparing a tight-knit book club to a giant lecture hall. Smaller communities are often more engaged per capita.
Gotcha. Does it vary by industry or niche, too?
Definitely. Big time. Beauty and fashion micro-influencers, for example, might shoot for 2% or even 3% plus.
Okay.
Health and wellness, maybe more in the 1.2% to 2% range. Tech or B2B SaaS might be lower, like 0.5% to 1.2%.
And nonprofits.
So nonprofits often do pretty well, maybe 1.7% to 3%. People connect emotionally with causes.
Interesting. What about content type? You mentioned Reels earlier.
Yeah, content format is huge. Reels generally tend to outperform static images right now in terms of engagement.
Why is that? The algorithm.
Partly the algorithm favoring video, yeah. But also, video is just inherently more dynamic, grabs attention, keeps people watching longer, which feeds back into that algorithm preference.
It's all connected. What else affects what's considered good for my specific account?
Your audience demographics play a big role. Younger audiences might comment and share more, while older groups might lean towards just liking.
Okay.
And your posting habits matter too. Post too much, people tune you out. Post too little, they forget you exist. Both can hurt engagement. Finding that sweet spot, that consistency is key.
Right. Consistency. Okay. We get the what and the why. Now the how. How do we actually improve our engagement rate? Give us the strategies.
Okay, let's break it down. Think of it in two main buckets: crafting compelling content and mastering Instagram's algorithm. They really go hand in hand.
Makes sense. Let's start with content.
All right. Think about formats that naturally invite people to interact or stick around. Carousels are great for this.
Multi-slide posts.
Yeah. People swipe through, spend more time. You can pack in tips, tell a story, do a mini tutorial. They also tend to get saved more often if the info is valuable.
Okay, carousels. What else?
Things that are easily shareable. Think memes, relatable quotes, really useful infographics, educational graphics broken down simply.
Stuff people want to send to their friends or save for later.
Exactly. And reels, of course. We talked about those. Quick tips behind the scenes, transformations, entertaining stuff. Video just grabs attention differently. Listicles work well, too, in captions or carousels.
So value and entertainment presented in engaging formats. What about, like, the vibe of the content?
Huge. Humanize your brand. Seriously, people connect with people.
Not just slick product shots.
Right. Show the behind the scenes, a day in the life. Feature your team, or even better, feature your user-generated content, what your actual customers or community are posting.
Build that connection.
Yeah, authenticity really resonates more than just polish sometimes. And don't be afraid to ask for engagement.
Just ask.
Yep. Use calls to action. Double tap if you agree. Comment your biggest takeaway below. Tag a friend who needs to see this.
Be direct.
Be direct. Use Instagram's interactive stickers in stories, polls, quizzes, question boxes. They make it super easy for people to engage with just a tap. Ask questions in your captions that invite real thought, not just yes/no answers.
Okay, so make it easy and make it inviting. Got it.
Hmm.
Now, the mysterious algorithm, how do we work with it?
Well, nobody knows the exact secret sauce, right? But we know some ingredients. Timing and frequency are big.
Posting when your audience is online.
Exactly. Check your Instagram insights for your audience's peak times. Don't just guess based on generic advice. And consistency matters. Whether it's 3 times a week or daily, stick to a schedule. Scheduling tools can really help here.
Batching content helps too, I bet.
Totally. Totally. Plan it out. And diversify your formats. Don't only do Reels or only feed posts. Use feed, stories, Reels, maybe even go live.
Why? Do they work differently with the algorithm?
They seem to. Stories and Reels can create quick, ephemeral connections. Lives foster real-time interaction, which is super powerful for community building. Feed posts have more staying power. Using a mix keeps things fresh and hits different parts of the algorithm, potentially.
Okay, mix it up. What else?
Leverage collaborations and tags. When you collaborate with someone, you tap into their audience too.
Cross-promotion.
Right. Tag people who are in your photos or videos, tag your location, use relevant hashtags, not just generic huge ones, but niche ones too, and branded hashtags if you have them. It all helps with discoverability.
Makes sense. It's always better to hear about this stuff working in practice, though.
Okay.
Do you have any real-world examples, like someone who actually turned their engagement around?
Oh, for sure. Let's talk about Jessica. She's a fitness coach, had about 8,500 followers, which is decent, right?
Yeah.
But her engagement was stuck around 1.3%, just kind of plateaued.
Okay, familiar story. What did she do?
She consciously shifted focus, started making really helpful educational carousels, breaking down exercises, nutrition tips, stuff like that. Easy to digest, easy to save.
Value-driven?
Exactly. She also leaned into Reels, showcasing client transformations, super motivating. And crucially, she started asking open-ended questions in her captions, not just like, if you agree, but what's your biggest struggle with motivation this week?
Getting people talking.
Yes. And the results.
Tell me.
In about 6 weeks, her average engagement rate more than doubled, went up to 3.6%.
Wow. From 1.3% to 3.6%. That's huge.
It really is. And it wasn't just numbers. She started getting DMs from bigger fitness brands wanting to collaborate.
Nice.
And get this, a 47% increase in inquiries for her actual coaching service.
Okay, that's the proof. Engagement driving actual business results.
Directly. It shows how that connection translates.
That's a great example. Any others, maybe from a brand perspective?
Yeah, think about a direct-to-consumer skincare brand. Their feed was initially all gorgeous, glossy product shots. Looked great, but
Engagement wasn't amazing.
pretty low, yeah. Around 0.9%. Just not sparking much interaction.
So what did they change?
They flipped the script. Started featuring their customers. Testimonials, before and after photos sent in by users, people showing how they use the products in real life.
User-generated content, basically.
Exactly. And they incentivized it. Ran a monthly giveaway, tag us in your post using our product, and you could win something.
Smart. Make it worth their while. What happened?
They got flooded with UGC. Way more than they expected.
People love seeing themselves featured.
They do, and here's the kicker. The engagement rate on those customer posts, it was about 2.5 times higher than on their own polished product shots.
Whoa.
Yeah, their overall profile engagement climbed up to 2.7%, and they directly linked it to an increase in online sales.
That really drives home the power of community and, like, social proof.
Totally. It shows that featuring real people using your product resonates way more sometimes.
Okay, these examples are gold. Before we wrap up the strategies, let's talk pitfalls. What are the common mistakes people make? Or myths they believe about engagement?
Oh, the biggest one, we have to say it again. Buying followers or engagement.
Just don't do it.
Please, just don't. It looks tempting, maybe gives you a quick vanity boost, but it's so damaging.
How so?
Well, first, real users can often spot it, and it tanks your credibility. Second, those fake accounts don't interact, so your actual engagement rate plummets, which looks terrible to the algorithm and potential partners.
Right, because the denominator followers goes up, but the numerator,
Yeah.
likes, comments, doesn't.
Precisely. Plus, Instagram actively fights against this and can even penalize your account. It's just not worth it. Zero long-term value.
Okay, steer clear of fake fans. What else?
Another mistake is obsessing over vanity metrics or chasing only viral moments.
Like getting excited about one reel that blew up but didn't actually bring in relevant followers.
Exactly. That temporary spike feels good, but if those new followers aren't actually interested in your core topic or niche, they won't stick around or engage long-term. Consistency and building a genuinely interested community is way more valuable than random viral hits.
Quality over quantity, even in engagement spikes.
Got it. And one more thing, don't be afraid of negative feedback.
Really? People usually hate negative comments.
I know, it stings. But sometimes constructive criticism, even if it's phrased poorly, gives you super valuable insights into what's not resonating. And how you handle it can actually boost engagement if you respond thoughtfully and show you're listening. Don't just delete everything critical.
Interesting perspective. Turn criticism into a conversation starter, maybe.
Potentially, yeah. Or at least a learning opportunity.
Okay, this is all super practical. Let's really boil it down now.
Mm.
If someone listening wants to start improving their engagement today, what are the concrete, actionable steps? Like a checklist.
Okay, let's make a checklist. Step 1, audit your current engagement. Go into your Instagram Insights or whatever tool you use. Look at your last, say, 10, 20 posts. Calculate your average engagement rate, maybe by followers, maybe by reach. Get your baseline number.
Okay, know where you stand. Step 2.
Step 2, analyze your winners. Look closely at those posts that did get good engagement. What did they have in common? Was it the topic, the
Yeah.
format, reel, carousel, the caption style, humor, a question, collaboration? Find the patterns.
Got it. Learn from what worked. Step 3.
Step 3, set measurable goals. Don't just say, I want more engagement. Be specific. I want to increase my average engagement rate by 20% in the next 3 months. Or I want to double the number of shares on my reels each week.
Specific targets. Makes sense. Step
Yeah.
4.
Step 4, experiment with formats. If you only post photos, consciously try incorporating stories with polls. Maybe schedule your first reel, try a carousel, dip your toes into different content types and see what resonates.
Don't get stuck in a rut. Step 5.
Step 5, schedule consistently. Use your analytics to post when your audience is active. Use a scheduling tool to plan ahead and maintain that rhythm. Mix up the content types throughout the week.
Consistency is key. Step 6.
Step 6, engage proactively. Don't just post and ghost. Reply to comments, answer DM thoughtfully. Go out and comment meaningfully on other relevant accounts in your niche. Write captions that actually invite interaction.
Be part of the conversation. Step 7.
Step 7, invest in community building. Reshare user-generated content when people tag you. Host Q&As. Acknowledge loyal followers. Make people feel seen and appreciated. Maybe even explore collaborations more strategically.
Foster that connection. As the last step, step 8.
Step 8, monitor and adjust. This isn't a one-time fix. Check your numbers regularly, maybe every 2 weeks. See what's working, what's not. Be ready to tweak your strategy based on the data, audience feedback, and how Instagram itself evolves.
It's an ongoing process.
Absolutely. Learn, adapt, repeat.
This has been incredibly insightful. I feel like the fog has lifted a bit around engagement. The big takeaway seems to be, it's not just a number. It's about building real connections.
That's exactly it. It reflects resonance. And it's something you can actively influence through smart content and genuine interaction. It's controllable, and it directly impacts your reach and potential success.
So the challenge for everyone listening is to take these ideas, start applying them, experiment, and see what works for your unique audience.
Definitely. Be consistent, be authentic.
And maybe a final thought to leave everyone with. Yeah, maybe think beyond just the metrics for a second. Ask yourself, what kind of genuine community do I actually want to build here? Focusing on fostering real interaction, real conversations that can open doors and lead to opportunities you might not even expect, far beyond just a higher engagement rate number.